Yooka-Laylee, huh? I gotta say, I'm really overall shocked. Not really at the game, but at the responses. I'm sure by now you've seen plenty of reviews of the game, praising it, hating it, saying it's bad, saying it's good. It's all over the place. I really didn't think the game would get this much of a mixed reception. For those of you who don't know, Yooka-Laylee was a Kickstarter game by the original developers from Rare who made Banjo-Kazooie and Conker. Now, people mainly got hyped for this because they loved Banjo growing up. For me, I never owned a Nintendo 64, so I have no fond memories of Banjo-Kazooie. I picked up this game because I love 3D platformers. I grew up with Spyro, Crash, Sonic, and Ratchet & Clank. I also want to note that I didn't back this game on Kickstarter. I didn't have the funds, so I'm speaking as someone who simply pre-ordered the game. So the plot of this game is nothing special, really. Plots in 3D platformers are really never that in-depth. Here we see Capital B and his assistant, Dr. Quack. Dr. Quack and his minions finish getting this place in shape, and Capital B runs over their evil plan. Dr. Quack made a machine to suck up every book so they'd be the only ones in the market. Capital B makes it a point to also grab the special book. Meanwhile, on Shipwreck Cove, Yooka and Laylee just got settled into their new home. As they're talking, the special book Laylee found under the floorboard in the ship starts to shake. Eventually, it gets sucked away with the golden pages scattered throughout the area. While running through the first area and collecting a few pages here and there, the duo find Capital B's HQ, Ivory Towers. With that, your objective is clear. Go through the levels collecting pages and stop Capital B from scamming people, I guess? Whatever. Overall, I like how silly this plot is.
What diabolical plan do you have this time, boss?
I'm going to steal every book in the world. That way we'll be the only ones on the market.
What?
Now, on your way through the game, you'll be surprised by how many times you'll find yourself really enjoying the presentation of this game. It's one of my favorite parts. Literally, the title menu alone had so much charm with the music and the sounds that it had me grinning. Just going through the menu. In general, this game's visual style is really nice. I love how sharp and colorful everything is. Also really enjoy the classic Rare style of putting eyes on everything. My favorite parts are when you expand a level and it gives you a complete overview of it. It's really pretty. Now, it's not perfect by any means. I mean, hell, it's a Unity game. Unity games always have some sort of jank around the edges, and this game's no different. But it's one of the best looking Unity games I've seen. I opted for the PS4 version, so you'll get a very sharp 1080p image. I'm just kinda disappointed that this game is locked at 30 FPS on consoles. If you have a PS4 Pro and try boost mode, it won't do anything except help maintain 30. On PC, however, you'll get a buttery smooth 60 FPS. The frame rate lock on console really isn't a big deal, honestly, because we grew up with platformers running around 30. It doesn't really hinder your experience at all, but the 60 FPS bump on PC will greatly improve it. I guess my only gripe with the presentation are some of the characters. A lot of them are really uninspired and lazy. For example, I hate the Pig Knights. No. They look so stupid and out of place. None of them are awful, per se, but they are pretty bad. I did touch on the music a little, but I want to take a moment to praise Grant Kirkhope, David Wise, and Steve Burke, I hope I'm getting that right, for nailing it yet again with this game's soundtrack. One of my favorite tracks is the minecart theme for World 3. I honestly cannot get enough of it. Take a listen. I know you've probably heard it 1,000 times before, but yes, if you've played Banjo-Kazooie, then this game should feel pretty familiar to you. I've never played a Banjo game, so this will be completely new to me. You control technically both Yooka and Laylee. Laylee rides around on top of his head the whole game. She helps you do certain moves like double jumping and gliding. Yooka is the one that will be doing all of the platforming and combat. You can spin attack with the square button and lick with the circle button. You got a lick button. You use this to eat butterflies to regain health or eat power-up plants for, well, power-ups. These can range from fire to snowballs to heat resistance to fucking grenades, etc, etc. Along the road, you'll get to purchase new abilities from our friend Trowser here. Trowser is essentially this game's moneybags, except he's not an ignorant asshole. In each new world, he will give you a free move that's required to beat more of the levels. Later on in the level, you can purchase more optional moves from him using the clothes you pick up as currency. A lot of these moves are actually really useful, especially the rolling one. This lets you move quicker and up slippery slopes, but at a price. See, most of your new moves rely on this energy bar. If it depletes, you have to wait a good amount of time before it finally fills back up. But if you find some butterflies, simply touching one will completely fill your bar up again. I like that because it gives you an option of either health or energy. Using these abilities is as easy as it can be, but the game does make it difficult sometimes. Yooka-Laylee is supposed to be an homage to the classic 3D platformer era by bringing in all those elements from the past. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. For example, the camera. The camera could use a lot of work. There are moments where the game will lock the camera into a forced perspective so you can do whatever platforming challenge you need to do. But when it does this, the camera will lock without warning and most of the time throw off your controls. They do have this feature from Banjo to make the camera always stay behind you, but I can't really use it a lot. It's so fast and it kind of makes me feel sick. Another thing Yooka-Laylee really doesn't do that well is pace. The beginning is by far one of the worst parts of the game. For one, you can't skip or speed through any of the cutscenes. So if this is your second playthrough or your third one, might as well make yourself something to eat because this is gonna be a while. But my all-time biggest gripe with this game is how easily you can get lost or not know what to do next. I'm constantly finding myself going, okay, what? Where do I go? See, huge levels like this are not a bad thing. There's only like 5 or so levels in the game, I believe, but the thing is, all of them are so huge. You can do so much. You'll be spending so many hours in these levels, especially when you expand them to make them even bigger. It almost feels slightly open world. But you know what helps in levels this big in scale? With this many doors and pathways to different things? A fucking map! This is one of the most frustrating things about this game. There's nothing to help indicate whether or not you've been to this location or that pathway. You just walk in and hope it's new. Now I know walking into a place really doesn't sound that bad, but what makes it really irritating is when you have to go through, sit through a laggy, pretty long load time, walk in, realize you already did it, walk back out, and sit through the same load screen again just to try again somewhere else. It completely breaks the flow this game gives you. The boss fights also really aren't that great at all. They're actually really, really easy.
So, what do? Shelve it or trash it? Well, I don't think this game deserves all the hate it's getting. Yes, it is rough around the edges, but honestly, what game isn't? Even the greatest video games ever have problems. This was a passion project, something by old devs for their old fans, and I really believe they accomplished that. For someone who's never played a Banjo game, I enjoyed my time with this game. But I am a little disappointed that it could have been so much better. I really hope Playtonics makes a sequel to this. I'd love to see what they do after they learn from their mistakes. With that said, Yooka-Laylee gets shelved.
Hey everyone, thanks again for watching my review on Yooka-Laylee. Now I know this video wasn't as long as the other ones, but I'm sorry, there's just a lot of other things that I'm working on, so stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content and click one of these videos to see another one. If you want to support me, go over to my Patreon or look at that album I did a long time ago on my Bandcamp. I'll see you guys next time.